So I've been in Australia for 2 days now, and I'm going to let you in on the discoveries that I've made about myself. And it really stems from a story of my life and where my life is at and where I'm going with life. So for the past 5 months now, I've been traveling around the world. I've been in Europe, Bali, Philippines, and Singapore, and now obviously Australia. And I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't even seen outside of this room. I went from the airport directly to my Airbnb and have been in here basically ever since. I ate one meal, which was yesterday, and that's basically where we're at. And the reason why I want to make this video and talk about this, and it's not going to be this big production, but it's mainly because I want to let you in on where I actually am in my life and what I'm experiencing in my life, and really just hopefully give you a perspective shift and show you that it really doesn't matter where you are and what you're doing and how cool the opportunities may be in your life. Because if you are not fully happy or fully in a spot where you feel like you can be happy, then it's not really worth it. And this is one of the biggest things that I'm battling right now, because 2 days ago was probably the hardest day of my life. And that was saying goodbye for now to the person that I love most and means most to me. And she went back home as I came here. And on the airplane, I had the worst panic attack I've ever had, because all that I kept thinking was that this was a mistake. Me coming here was a mistake. And ever since then, ever since that feeling on that airplane, that gut feeling of almost regret, and also just the endless questions that filtered through my brain and have been filtering through my brain of, is this even worth it? Is this really what I want to be doing? Is this really where I want to be? And right now, I want to say that the thing that I've realized is that I have actually been running away. I've been trying to escape the idea of going back home, of going home with basically the life status that I have now. And that is a really terrifying feeling, but also a very liberating feeling, knowing that this is the things that I am experiencing and identifying. I always wanted to go back home in this totally different financial standpoint, this different career standpoint, this overall, I basically wanted to go home with this overall sense of pride. And I haven't felt like I could do that. And I think that was the main reason why instead of booking a flight home with Tessa, I booked a flight here. A lot of it was just because I was afraid to go home and to accept the fact that I wasn't where I thought I would be, but also looking on it now. And unfortunately, it took me a flight here and sitting here in this room to realize this. But looking at it now, I realized that I have gained what some people never gain. And obviously that's one, the experiences, but two, it's actually my sense of direction. I realized through all of this travel and through the tough times and also the really good times on what I want to do with my life. And it took the person I love most to push me and help me find that, but also myself and these experiences and these really difficult experiences, and going without a phone and paying my way into countries and getting new passports, being stranded in places, seeing some of those beautiful views that there is to see, experiencing it all with my best friend in the world. And now I sit here in a spot where I once dreamt of being, and all that I actually realize is that I want to be at home. I want to go home, and I want to have that sense of comfort. We've always been told to chase discomfort, to seek discomfort. And I believe that that is so valuable and so important in so many aspects. But another thing that I've realized is that it's not always what you need. It's not always what's best. And especially in certain situations, sometimes the best thing for you can actually be stability. It can be redefining yourself. And for me, that's the biggest thing that I'm realizing, is that I have this huge desire right now, after flying all the way here yesterday, basically I got here. And after flying all the way here, I realize now the one thing that I want most is stability. I want to know where the grocery store is. I want to know that I have a bed to sleep on in 3 days. I want to know that I have all the opportunity and the ability to just go and let myself run wild within my comfort zone. I've been chasing discomfort for so long now, and I'm realizing that all I really want is a sense of comfort. And I had the best thing that I had was the comfort within the discomfort, and that was my person, the person that was next to me throughout all of it. And now with it, and with me being on my own, I am sitting here realizing that I just want comfort in life. If I can't have it with people, then I want it in life, and I want it within myself. And I have loved traveling. Like, it has been the greatest experience of my whole entire life. And I have learned more about myself in this journey than I ever knew was possible. And to think that just 5 months ago, like where I was at, what I was doing, the things that were on my goal list, and now to look at what all of this is and what I really want for myself now is insane, because it has been a complete 180 and it's changed everything, and I've grown immensely. And it's sad to think that I thought that I had to come to a place in order to make that possible, when in reality, that's not the case. What I realize most is that I love having this sense of stability. I love knowing that I can go out with friends, and I love knowing that I don't have to worry about leaving all of my things at home, at a hostel, at a hotel, at an Airbnb. I love knowing that I have a home. I love knowing that I can go to the gym and come back. I love knowing that I actually know where the gym is. I love knowing where the grocery store is. I love knowing that I can actually cook in a kitchen. And unfortunately, it took coming here. And I don't know what the next step actually is. I don't know what the next step will be. All I know is that in this very moment, I am missing stability more than I ever have in my whole entire life. And it's beautiful here. It's so beautiful. But it's also not what I need in life right now. And I'm saying this, and maybe that's completely wrong, and maybe that's just my emotion speaking, but I know for a fact that I am able and capable of achieving everything that I want to achieve in a place such as home. It doesn't have to be around the world in the craziest places, because I know who I am, and I know that I have the ability to do all the things that I want to do, no matter where that may be. And right now, it sucks to know that I am sitting in this beautiful home, in this beautiful bed, and that I just want to be at home. And also, I have no idea if any of this is right, if any of this is exactly what I need and what I want. But I think that's also one of the cases for life, is that we never really know what we want, ever. We just go off of feeling. We go off of the things that inspire us, the things that ignite us, the things that leave a spark under our ass and make us do things. And that's where I realized the other day that instead of having that exciting moment where something ignites me, it was a feeling of my flame actually being put out. And I think that's why I had this sense of regret and this gut feeling that I was making a mistake getting on that plane. And it was the feeling of wanting that plane to stop and break down so I could get off and I could go and change my whole course of direction and go back home, because that's what I wanted most. And now sitting here, seeing this, talking about this is just the main reason for me to be talking about all of this, is just so that you get to see that it's not sunshine and rainbows every single second of the day. That most of it isn't sunshine and rainbows. A lot of it is these challenges. And to be doing this for 5 months now, like 5 months living out of the same bag, with the same clothes, with the same shoes, with the unknown of where you're going to be in a week or where you're going to be in 3 days, 5 days, with the unknown of if you're going to eat a proper meal or not, and the unknown on unknown of what life is going to look like and how you're going to make the next step, what your next step ever actually is, and also when are you going to go home? Because these are the questions that I ask myself nonstop and that you're poised with when you travel. And travel is a magnificent thing, and it's something that I cherish so much and will always cherish. And I know that I will be an avid traveler for years, but there's also the negatives that come with it. And that's exactly what this is. All of the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, everything. And it's had me sit here and question if this is right or not. And as of right now, I am saying that no, it is not. And that might change tomorrow or the next or the next. But as of right now, this is me signing off and saying to myself that give yourself grace, understand how beautiful you have done, how beautiful of a job you have done in this last month, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, year, and acknowledge how you are not a failure for wanting to go home. You're not a failure for wanting to escape this crazy, adventurous life for at least a little while. And you are also so capable of achieving anything you want from home. And I think having a home is one of those beautiful, beautiful things that you take for granted sometimes when you don't have a home. And I am so glad that I can share this message with you. And I don't know if this video turned out to be this whole big spectacular thing, but what I do know is that the words and the words from emotion really are far more impactful than any form of visual representation that I could ever put together and ever show you. And I hope that you hear my voice. I hope that you hear and see the emotion that I feel in these moments, because these are the moments when I actually know that this will hit somebody at a totally different level. You do not need to be traveling in order to make your dreams come true. You do not need to do something so far out of this world in order to be happy. You do not need to chase discomfort every second of the day and every day of your life in order to be successful. And that is what I have taken from this. And even if you want to embrace the discomfort, embrace it in a place of comfort. Allow yourself to see the pushes. Don't feel like you're drowning, because that's what I feel like. And I will say it is not the most beneficial right now for me in this moment. But anyways, that is my story on arriving here 2 days ago and where I'm at mentally, physically, Physically, you can see I'm just in bed, and I've been here all throughout yesterday and today, and that's life. It's life. That's all. Okay. Thank you. And we'll see you soon.